Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. New emails were released which claim to show Prime Minister Andrej Plenković was an active participant during the consultation process led by Martina Dalic in formulating the so-called Lex Agrokor. However, while none of the emails were sent directly to the Prime Minister, they did lead to at least 3 face-to-face meetings.
These emails have been presented in a way to cast suspicion, and I won't allow that. Extenuating circumstances called for a quick and efficient response. Achieving our goal was the priority. Consultations were held with various groups and led mostly by Martina Dalic. The only problem I see is the fact that certain participants in the consultation process were engaged later in another capacity. I want everything to come out into the open, because a successful result has now been brought into question.
Meanwhile, opposition parties led by the SDP believe the latest emails are the beginning of the end for the Plenković government and are cause for holding early elections.
These new emails prove that not only was the Prime Minister informed, he was personally at the head of the group that siphoned off more than 500 million kuna from Agrokor. This is definitely the end for the HDZ-HNS government. I am asking him to call a snap election and end this agony. Croatia cannot be held hostage by one man. I don't see how the Prime Minister can be held responsible. The priority of the Prime Minister, the ruling coalition, and the citizens of Croatia was to save Agrokor. The process was carried out according to the law and formulated to make sure that the burden was not passed on to the Croatian taxpayer. The law ensured the continued functionality of Agrokor and all relevant stakeholders.
Parliament Speaker Gordan Jandroković believes the email scandal ended with the resignation of Martina Dalic and that the ruling coalition remains stable.
We are focused on creating the conditions for the conclusion of the Agrokor settlement deal so that Agrokor can continue doing business and that all those concerned with the Agrokor concern can continue to successfully do business, to protect jobs. Our goal is also to maintain political stability with a majority in Croatian parliament, allowing the government to continue to do its job. The best proof of this will come next week when we will appoint a new economy minister.
Central Bank Governor Boris Vujčić commented on the Agrokor situation while attending a conference on Croatia's money market. For the moment, he believes the situation will have no impact on either the country's GDP growth or banking system.
In the worst-case scenario, if a settlement is not reached and banks must write off all existing debts, meaning banks get absolutely nothing, the banking system would remain stable and well-capitalized.
A summit of EU leaders and 6 Western Balkan countries was held in Sofia, Bulgaria. The meeting resulted in the adoption of the Sofia Declaration, a document that outlines the criteria necessary for further European expansion, while also reaffirming the EU's commitment towards the Western Balkans, including closer cooperation in tackling common challenges such as security and migration.
That's why it is already in the conclusions of today's summit that I, as the chairman of the Council in 2020, will reorganize this event, thus creating a systemic approach to not only enlargement policy, but also concrete support of all of the countries from the region in order to, by fulfilling criteria, individual merits, reach the club in the right time.
And finally, after 22 years on the Council of Europe, Croatia is set to take over the 6-month chairmanship of the Council's decision-making body. Foreign and European Affairs Minister Marija Pejčinović-Burić will be formally confirmed as the head of the Committee of Ministers at a ceremony in Denmark on Friday. The minister said Croatia's top priorities include the fight against corruption and the protection of cultural heritage. Taking a quick look at sports. In the semi-finals of the Domestic Basketball League, Split shocked Cedevita, winning 75-66 on their home court on Wednesday night. The best-of-3 series is now tied at 1 game apiece. The final and deciding game will be played in Zagreb on Saturday evening. Opening tip-off is at 8 p.m. local time. The weather forecast for tomorrow calls for sunny skies. Passing clouds will develop in the afternoon, bringing isolated showers to higher elevations in the northwest, as well as areas of the northern coast and central Istria. Winds on the coast mostly weak and coming in out of the northeast. A weak to moderate northwesterly and westerly will develop in the afternoon. Morning lows of 9 to 13 degrees inland and from 12 to 17 on the coast will give way to highs of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius around the country and slightly lower in higher elevations. The odd afternoon shower is in the forecast for continental regions over the weekend and into the beginning of next week. Temperatures will continue to rise steadily. The chance of storms on the coast will be very low over the next few days. Mostly sunny skies will prevail. Weak to moderate northeasterly and northwesterly winds are expected. Temperatures will climb up to the high 20s. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night.